Hey there, it's Dr. Joy, and I am here with our first original edition of our Mudra deck. I say first original edition because there's probably going to be an update of all these cards, the way that they were made for the first time, an exploration of creativity and what it is that we're able to do. And now that I have them in my hand, there's a few things that I know that I want to add for us to be able to do in the future. But for the first edition of the cards, that is the card deck that you have. Um, this is what it would look like. Okay. So mudras are different hand movements that represent different things, right? They represent different energy, something that you might want to activate within yourself, something that you might want to honor, right? And so these words are Sanskrit words, but hand movements, body movement, motion, things to connect you to spirit, to connect you to a higher intelligence and things like that have always existed, right? Throughout a lot of different cultures. This is why this project was really special and important to me. If you see, all of the decks are hands of color, and it could be any color, not a whole person or whatever, with their cute little nails, okay? Even the back of the deck is it's the same for all of them, and this is the prana symbol, and prana is our life force, it's our breath. Some things that you might hear people talk about if you do yoga, this is what they're talking about. This is the symbol. Okay. If you do teach yoga, this is an awesome deck to have. If you want your class to do a mudra all together, you could pull a mudra for yourself. Oh, there goes a prana card. Look at that. You can pull the mudra for yourself, and you can let them know what you want them to do. Or what I have done that has been beautiful in a group of over 100 people. In this, I did not have this deck. I had a different deck of cards. It wasn't my deck of cards. I passed out mudra cards to every single person, and every single person had their own thing to do, right? They intuitively picked whatever they needed to get from the deck, and they held their mudra while I walked them. Literally, I walked around and I did a meditation with them. They closed their eyes, they held a mudra, and it was beautiful. So this is something that you can also do if you have a large class where everybody can get a different mudra and activate their own experience in a community experience. So I love that part of it. So for the mudras, this is the first edition again, and so some of the writing is going to be not what I expected. I think it's because of the font that I picked, but the next edition will be different. That's not going to really matter for you if you already have this deck, right? I don't know, unless you want to get the second deck. I personally would get the second deck. But this is what you will have though. This is original art. Okay, an artist from my support group's community. This is what she did. She wanted to make, I asked her, like we talked about it. She wanted to make these, from scratch, and she did. I want you to know that every time she made one of these, it would take her, I think she did one a week. She would be so serious, which I loved, right? One a week to do these beautiful things by hand. Okay, so she did this on her own, and we created this mudra deck for us. I want us to be able to have tools that feel familiar, that feel safe, that feel like us, that feel like we are allowed in the healing circle. Okay. And because we are the healers, we want to be healed. And I want us to have access to all the things that we can have access to for that healing. My mother, nothing to do with that, but my mother was a science teacher, secret astrologist, businesswoman, turned businesswoman, right? And I saw her, what they would call at that time, literally, they would call my mom a hippie, her hippie nature leave her, right? And even, but her healing stuff was a part of who she was. There was never a day in my house that we didn't have an open aloe leaf on the kitchen table or whatever. There was always something that was very much aligned with us healing ourselves and gaining more knowledge for ourselves. And so that has always been something that has coursed through my veins, right? And I want to be able to continue that legacy of opening us up to not just Western, but Eastern medicine, Eastern ideology, right? Just ways of being, ways of slowing down. And if you think of a mudra, it's also a way to really slow down and be present. You're just doing a simple hand movement, but you can put so much focus in that space and what that space means. You can feel so protected with such a small gesture because we are always protected. I won't get into a whole soapbox about that. But I think the more that we do things for ourselves like this, the more that we realize all of the source and protection and love that we do have around us. And the fact that anybody and people before me have created things that look like us, right? It's a godsend. It's beautiful to have that invite, to have that permission to be a part of the healing in all the ways you want to. And this is something you can do, simple things like in the car in the morning. What if you never go to yoga? What if you never share it with anybody else? You have your own way of activating the things that you want to activate. Okay. Whether it's like confidence, whether you want to focus on the breath of life, whether you want to focus on, what is this? The grip of strength, manifesting, focus, power, and resolve. Mushti. It's like black power, right? But I'm saying you can utilize this in so many different ways. Now, say you were to use it as a part of your divination, right? You can use the name, right, to give the meaning if you're trying to give a message to somebody else. But you can also, if you know double meanings for hand movements, right? You can utilize that as well. It's just based off of what you see and how you divinate from there. But for your own personal thing, if you want to just get that information, it's on the card. Now, like I said, the printing is a little bit weird for some of them. And so this is what I have done. You're going to find a playlist, or within the playlist, excuse me, you're going to see that all the definitions for the cards are going to be there. And you can pick, it's like A through A and B through, I don't know, F, who know, I can't remember exactly what it was. There's no F. But if you look at the videos, you'll see like all of the definitions. Just in case you can't read, you always have very quick access to it. All right. So this is our Purple Print Mudra deck, and have fun.